Hello, I'd like to talk about the manifesto that was provided by the gunman, the killer of the Virginia Tech massacre. As an educator here in Southern California who has witnessed what goes on over the years at the schools with bullying and name-calling and just the way kids treat other kids, it was sad to see what I saw in this kid's eyes as he reveals why he did this, how he felt, the pain that he had inside. To me, it is very clear that he grew up going to school, feeling the pain and frustration of being on his own, an isolated individual with no friends, who I personally believe was bullied from a young age. It is clear in his manifesto that he has anger towards a lot of different people who were different than him. He claims and makes it a point that no one knows how he feels, how he felt on the inside. That he was spit on, had trash thrown down his throat. I mean, it isn't clear if those are things that actually happened to him or just analogies of the way that he felt as an isolated individual that was not talked to, was not invited to become part of groups. There are thousands and thousands of kids right now. I mean, not even thousands. There are millions of kids in our education systems who are feeling this same way because of bullying and name-calling. We don't know what they are capable of. Each day, each second, there are kids here in this nation that are going through the same hurt and pain that this young man went through. I personally think that more than having a mental problem, this kid had these emotions and angers built up through years and years of frustration, of not being accepted, not feeling part of a crowd, which does not necessarily make it okay at all to do what he did, but is evident in his manifesto that he just hated his life, and he makes it clear that this could have all been prevented, that his life could have been spared, that they had a million chances to do this and that. I really hope as an educator that this points up a red light to education as a whole in America, all around the world. Now that we're on the topic of school shootings, we need to take a look at and see what is really going on in these schools with these kids of today. It is clear that these kids are growing up in a world that is far surpassing what things were like years and years ago. I cannot imagine how many kids there are out there right now who are going through the same problems that this young man did and do not have the support at home or at school to deal with these things. We live in a society, a culture, a nation where in our schools we have 1 to 3 counselors for thousands of kids at each school site. These kids come from different types of homes. Some kids get treated, disrespected badly at home and have no one to turn to. And what our school systems are doing these days is not providing them with support. They always make claims that there's not enough money to hire more support. But what ends up happening is, as taxpayers, we end up paying for these crimes. As you have seen in this massacre, this could have been prevented, which I believe it could have, if the kids like him had the support in school that they needed. We live in a nation where counselors are stuck doing busy work, clerical work, folding and administering tests. Counselors should be the ones that are sitting there talking to those kids that are feeling troubled. The counselors don't have the time to do this. I personally think that our schools should be filled with mentors, guidance counselors, who their only job on campus is to talk with those students who are dealing with these problems at home, to help give them guidance, to meet with them on a daily basis so that these things don't occur. Not only shootings, but teenage pregnancies, gang members, drugs. There's so many things that our kids are growing up in these days that could be prevented with the right mentors and guidance at the schools. As America, we are failing our kids these days. Please let me know what you guys think about this. if you guys are certain individuals who grew up with these tough lives and agree that if you would have had people there to just talk to you, say hi to you day in, day out, even if it was just for a minute, if things would have changed in your life, if you would have maybe been on the right track, and if you would have had that support, I want America to wake up and know that this isn't the end of these school shootings. I wish I could say that it was. I really hope that as a nation we come together and realize certain ways to prevent these things so that they don't happen anymore. This was a troubled kid who grew up in a tough life. That was not necessarily, in my opinion, due to the way he lived at home with his parents, but the way he grew up in our public schools and the way that he did not have the guidance and mentors around him that were able to provide him with knowledge, love, and care that he needed for this not to happen. Please, America, wake up.